This is honestly why the existence of the Nesta, Cassian, Azriel three-way scene doesn't bother me as an Elriel shipper, because as a writer, sometimes you will write things that will never see the light of day that you then use the bones of to make something new. I could very easily see Sarah writing like a Nesta, Cassian, Azriel three-way scene. One, just for fun, because we're all writing scenes like this. I wrote a scene like this. It is fun to write them all banging, you know? I think there was an element of that when Sarah was writing it, because yeah, like this is fun, but also I think there is an element of this is a prototype. This is kind of like a TV pilot. Like we're setting a scene here, we're setting a premise. That way, when you are ready for a three-way scene later, you have bones of it to work with. I will also say that as much of an Elriel girly as I am, I love Lucian. I've always said that. And I do think that as a Why Choose girly, if this was allowed to happen, Asriel, Elaine, Lucian, I would, I don't know what I would do. I think I would carry it in my heart for years. And there's a lot of different ways that I think that this three-person ship could go, but I have dreams about what I want for them. Not even necessarily on like the spicy front, because that is ultimately less interesting to me. I'm talking about like the relationship dynamic. I think that the relationship dynamic here could be so interesting depending on where Sarah chooses to take Elaine. And this is honestly something that I'm considering doing in my fanfic as well, because I have spent a very long time establishing Elriel in my fanfics universe and its milieu, but I also just really like this three-way a lot, and I'm fully debating just kind of like leaning in that direction as well. And the way that I would write it, and honestly the way that I would want to see it done in canon, is I want Lucian to be the kid with the leash. I want him to be the one bastion of sanity in Asriel and Elaine's psyches. Like if they are ready to kill and murder and do all sorts of nuttiness, Lucian is the one who just like gives them a look, and they're just, all right, what do you need? What do you like? Fine, we're not doing anything. We are listening to you. I think that this would take Asriel out of the tortured Dom guy persona that a lot of mainstream fans seem to think that he's going to be. Sarah said he was the kinkiest. Like, he doesn't have to be, like, borderline violent about it, you know? I'm having a really hard time describing what I mean by this, but I feel like all three of these characters are in these boxes, and that they, the mainstream fandom kind of puts them in these boxes when they are trying to characterize them and end up just stereotyping them. Elaine kind of gets treated like, this soft, ooh, baby girl, but she has the bones in her character already to be, just as cutthroat, just as strong as her sisters. And if you know anything about me, you know that as Elaine Archeron's lawyer, I want nothing but the best for her. I support her rights and her wrongs. So I actually would love to see like a very unfettered Elaine who, when she goes down like her spy route or her story route in general, that she does become a lot more ruthless, and she is a lot more of a killer than Nestor or Feyre are. And that would make her like foil very nicely with Asriel, who seems to have conflicts about it, and does think of himself as like a shittier person for being okay with the shit that he does. I would love to see Elaine be a person who's just like, no, like, orders are orders, or she has she has to have reasoning for why what she's doing is correct, but she doesn't have moral qualms about it the way that Asriel does. And I feel like that could be a really interesting dynamic, especially with Lucian in the mix, where Lucian is kind of like the bastion of morality in this group, and he's just like, yo, like, guys, calm the fuck down. This is a very hard thing for me to describe, but this is also like kind of how I think of this particular three-person ship and how I would write it. So I don't think that Sarah is going to do it that way. I don't think Sarah's going to do it at all, because Sarah is a coward. But to bring it back to Asriel, Nesta, and Cassian, I am not worried about this existing, because I think about it as what it probably was, a prototype for the Azriel, Elaine, Lucian stuff that we might be getting later, which I do want it. I do want it. Like, as much as I'm an Elriel girly, I would love to see that hit the page, and I would love to be right, honestly. I would love to see a three-way ship. I'm such a why choose girly. Inside of me, there are two wolves. One of them is an Elriel girly, and the other one is a why choose girly. And both of them really want Azriel and Elaine and Lucian.